and Marcus here, that was a very big piece of information that they needed also, so that they can see me the right direction. Location is what I started with. I chose Fort Washington, Clinton area, somewhere low-key where not a lot of traffic, but it's all up to you. Now, you might have a few days of going out with Marcus. We might pick 8, 9 properties, and we'll just go out and visit each one, walk through them. He'll tell you the ins and outs, what to look for, what the inspector might look for, any concerns that he knows from his experience of dealing with houses. But the main thing is knowing what you want. He will send you listings all the time of any new listings that hit the market. He will send them to you. It'll give you the picture, whether it has a basement or not, how many garage or not, the style of the house. Sometimes they give you more than one picture of the inside. Some don't give you pictures at all. You have to go by yourself, but you can't rely only on Marcus. Sometimes you might have to just take a listing of the ones you like and go by yourself. Ride out to the properties, map out a way of just hitting all your houses and doing a little research yourself. And then after that, you give him what you like from the outside. Then you talk to Marcus so you can set up looking at the inside. But it does take a while. It took me a while to find. I put in a couple of contracts, and I lost the bid. One of them, I think, was for $190. I put in for $200. Someone outbidded me. Another thing about that bidding thing is dealing with foreclosures, which I learned from Marcus. It's a different process than has been in the past markets.
Yep.
And if you're dealing with foreclosures and dealing with the banks, they may wait a little longer to accept the winning bid. They may wait a little longer just in case that one higher bid comes through, and that's when the patience comes in.
Yeah, the market right now is generally a lot of distressed and foreclosed properties, and what I find is that when buyers get in the market, they have this conception of it just being, a free-for-all for buyers, where you can come in and you can get anything you want for $50,000 off, lower the price, lower than the sales price. And then when you get in the market and you put down offers and you see that in this Washington, D.C. area, this metro area, is a whole different story. So the best way to actually learn about the process is to do what you did. Get in, do a little research, look at properties yourself. I mean, generally, if you don't like the outside of the property, you're not going to really like the inside.
I agree with that.
Now, let's talk about the home you chose. Let's talk about Cleveland Lane. What did you like about it? How did you feel about it? Basically, why did you make the offer you made? And, why don't you describe that process a little bit?
Okay. My house, it was a rehab. And one of the things that drew me in, have kids. It was in a cul-de-sac. I was looking for a quiet neighborhood as far as dealing with raising kids. I was moving from Virginia, and it was a lot quieter. I came from a quiet place, and I kind of wanted to go back to there. I had a school in the neighborhood. I visited the neighborhood 3 or 4 times, all different times of the day, at night, on the weekend, during the day on the weekend, and I didn't see a whole bunch of hanging out and a whole bunch of kids everywhere. So that's another thing that drew me in. Had a nice deck and a nice basement. That's one of my criteria was I wanted a basement. I had to have a basement, and I had a nice one. Besides that, everything, I saw the vision. It is a rehab home. It has some work to do to it, but it had a lot of potential. If that's what you're in for, if you're willing to go through the motion of rehabbing a home, then that was perfect for me, and that would also be perfect for you. but it's all about what you want. A couple of houses, the first house I did a bid on, in a way, I'm glad that I didn't get it because I was starting to get impatient, and I was starting to drop my criteria just to get into a home. It just worked out for me that a couple of delays caused me to find the house I wanted. So I feel like I kind of got lucky in the department, but if I could do it all again, I'll just be more patient from the beginning.
Good. Now, Jesse, you used a FHA 203K.
Yes.
Which is a pretty common loan in this market just because of foreclosures and general FHA. It requires the home to be in moving condition. You know,
yeah.
I want the buyers on this call to know that it's good to get pre-qualified for this type of mortgage just in case you use it. Now, let's talk about the celebration a little bit. Let's talk about settlement. I know that in your transaction we had some challenges. It took a little longer than usual. And why don't you describe that a little bit, how you went through the motions and how how was the celebration finally?
Okay. Yes, now I finally win the bid. I'm feeling really good. Actually, a coworker of mine got his bid at the same time, but his house was not a rehab home, so he was able to go to settlement in 30 days. I had to wait 90 days. I was dealing with a 203K loan, and according to my inspector, there was a lot of work to be done. Once your inspector comes in and gives a list of the things that need to be passed, that's when you put in your bid with your contractors to fix it. You end up doing that yourself. Now, Marcus has suggestions, but it's feel free to find your own. They have to be licensed and insured. But the process took 90 days. After about 45 days, you start wearing, you start getting antsy. You want to ready to go in. Getting all the paperwork done before the 90 days was a little hassle. It came down to the wire. Like I said before, dealing with banks versus sellers, there's a lot of paperwork involved. You could be 85 days into the process, and then all of a sudden they want you to send some paperwork from something that happened 10 years ago. But you have to do it to get the process going. But once again, that comes with the patience. I started this process in April. I went to settlement in November. So that gives you an idea, November the 6th, that gives you an idea of the process. If you want to do it right, if you just want to get into any home, you might end up with a 30-year problem. So take your time.
Excellent.
But now I moved in November. I mean, I got the house in November, but since it needed work, I still had to wait for the contractors to come in. I had no heat, had no hot water, needed roof work. So I actually did not move in until January, and that's the process versus a newer home versus a rehab home. But now I'm so happy. The longer the wait made it sweeter for the enjoyment and the celebration. I'm in, and it's a great, great feeling. That's why I'm on the phone here now. Marcus really helped me out. Stepped me through the whole process. I can call him anytime. He'll return my calls. He'll answer his phone. I send him texts. He'll text me back. Emails. He'll email me back. I could just be laying and watching TV, think of a question. I can call Marcus or Malika, no problem, answer the question efficiently. And if they didn't have the answer, they will call me back with the answer. But it's sweet, and it just feels really good when you actually take the key and open your door for the first time. I mean, it's without words. It's a great feeling. Now, through the whole process, I've been in and out of it, but when it's actually mine, it's a great feeling.
Hey, Jesse, were you able to qualify for Obama tax credit?
Yes, I was. I qualified. I made it by the original date, but as you know, he has extended it. What I did learn, which I didn't do, but it's all part of education, I'm going to pass it on to you. I could have filed my my Obama tax information.